Okay. There, and just got my audio, but hopefully, and you can see Jack over and okay, say hi.
We're live.
Yes, we're live finally. Okay.
Hi everybody.
Introduce yourself. So
Yeah, on English, yeah.
yeah, we'll try your best.
Yeah. I'm Mokke from Femex channel. I'm researcher on flat earth and free energy, everything must check. And try to understand I try to understand everything about information from science guys, and that is
Cool.
that is all. Yeah.
I'm going to go and get myself a couple of leaflets as well, just to join in. Okie dokie. Here we go. It's quite lively around here, but from what I'm seeing, just standing here, people seem very resistant here. So it might be a tricky. Maybe on these?
Nepravilnosti, tražimo odgovore od institucija koje se naravno obrađuju odgovornosti da bi rekli da li je to moguće ili ne, pošto mnogi naučnici zastupaju njihovu tezu da je sve ono što se plasira da je sve istina i vjeruju u kredibilitet informacije, vjeruju...
To je iz raznih oblasti.
Apsolutno iz raznih oblasti. Znači ima tu i fizike, i hemije, i
zemlja.
Da. Najinteresantnije je što fizičari imaju problem s indoktrinacijom i naravno masa nas ima problem s indoktrinacijom jer vjerujem autoritetu. I autoritet kad kaže da je tako, možemo da postavimo pitanje, a zašto je tako, ali ćemo dobiti minus.
Dok individualno mogu, ako ne poznam neko oblast, ali mogu logički doći do nekog zaključka, znam. Tako da ne padam, recimo, na takve stvari. Moram više izvora i to nije krajnji rezultat, ne razmišljati. Ali volim stvari. Hvala ti, prijatno.
Hello, can I have one of these? You're welcome. Have you one of these? No? Okay. Enjoy your life. So there's Jack. Good move. See, he handed over the leaflet, and then when it actually took a moment to look at it, he moved in for the kill. Well, that's pretty amazing stuff, really. But anybody still in the chat box? Oh, and we're back. Listen, guys, I'm really not sure what's going on here. we're having great difficulties maintaining the stream. So I don't know what's going on. Do my best to actually catch it when it happens again, but this is what's going on. It's like I'm talking and stuff. We're sort of going around, and all of a sudden it just disappears for no apparent reason. So I'll do my best to catch it and try and reconnect as soon as possible. Oh, I need to write leaflets again. Okay. Yeah, it's been a bit of a hard sell so far. Even Lisa's having trouble handing them out. Look, just walking past, just not interested. Can I give you one of these?
No, thank you.
I'm sure I could.
But why?
Because this is valuable information for you.
I know everything.
Absolutely. Oh, I don't know.
Did you see that? I know everything about Earth.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
Everything. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know everything about Earth.
I'm confused.
Everything. Oh well. What can you do about people who know everything about Earth? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I know. It's all I can do. There you go. Take one of these.
I've got one.
You got one. Wow. Jack is so efficient. Can I give you one of these? No? Okay. Yeah, so Jack's too efficient, so I think between Lisa over here and Jack over there, I mean, I'm a bit redundant really. I can just try the people who've already said no, really. Or try and stand here looking enticing and hopefully, you know, maybe I'll dance a bit. Oh, there's a clown. Perhaps you find it funny. Oh, yeah. No, the clown even thinks it's funny. Can I give you one of these? No? Okay. No, mine bubbles. What's who got in the chat then today? I don't know if this works. Start chasing those ladies again. Okay. They're a bit far away now, but okay. Well, maybe I'll chase them if they're pretty. No, I shouldn't have said that. Can I give you one of these? There you go. Yeah, so there's a lot of people walking by, but not really too many people who are that interested in the shape of the Earth. Can I give you one of these? Are you sure? Can I give you one of these? No. set it up as a checkpoint and only let them pass if they take a leaflet. Yeah, I think there are people around here who are too used to that sort of thing. I don't know. I might chase after her. No, I'm not going to chase after her. Hello. Well, it keeps disconnecting, and but still being live, and we're back, and we're back. So yeah, Shinobi works, yeah. So yeah, I might have to do my my sort of tricky reverse psychology thing, and You know, pretend to be really, really, really interested in this. Can I give you one of these?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Pretend to be really, really interested in this, and maybe I think that's what they call shilling. There we go. So it seems like it's just handing out leaflets to people. I think I've seen maybe 2 or 3 people who've actually just glanced over in this direction. You definitely can't have one of these. Okay. We need a lady in a bikini handing them out to the men. Okay. Roxanne, how fast can you get over here? Okay. Many colours. Checkpoint. Okay. Lady bikini. Okay.
So what this about? What do I have to do? Ravne zemlje i informacijama koje pruže ne odgovara ni tradicijama niti ovim naučnicima. Ima neke online da se vidi nešto? Ima. Imaš tu. Ima na YouTube. To posto, 90% preva. Sve što na televiziji baš. A mora se sve probati.
What was wrong? What was wrong?
Nothing. It's flat earther.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, you have to be a secret flat earther. Can I give you one of these? So, as usual, all the business here. Even Jack seems a bit quiet today. But, you know, such is life. Oops, out of the way. Standing in traffic, no, never healthy. Can I give you one of these? Yeah, you nodded, but you didn't take one. What's going on? Valuable to be these. Mark, still doing business?
Asking
Where are you from?
I'm from England,
England. Oh,
Yes.
whereabouts?
near Brighton.
Brighton.
Brighton, it's
Oh,
right
yes.
down on the south coast, yeah.
Yeah. Because I at first look, I didn't conclude you look like Brit. You look like American.
Oh, I can pretend to be American if you want me to, you know. I can come over and bomb everywhere.
You're
And
a flat Earth society, right?
No. Flat Earth Society is a controlled opposition group that want you to make it look silly. Yeah. So if you join the Flat Earth Society, they'll say, you know, the Earth is moving upwards at, you know, 32 meters per second, and that's what gravity is, which is rubbish.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not the Flat Earth Society. We're just people who know that the Earth is more like that than like that.
It's more flat than like a
Yes,
round.
that is a more accurate model. And one of the things we know, right, that proves it, is when you take a flight, for instance, from say Chile to Australia, yeah, most of the flights are not direct, and they usually go to Los Angeles, yeah, on a ball, and I can't show it to you, but on a ball.
Because probably the airplane wouldn't have enough fuel to go straight from Chile to Australia.
Well, you do find direct flights, but the point is, on a ball, when you fly from Chile off, and then thousands of miles south again to get to Australia, rather than direct, yeah. But on a flat Earth map, yeah, Los Angeles is literally directly in the middle,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. There was a case of a woman who was pregnant, got on board on, I think in Bali, and she was flying to Los Angeles, yeah. And she gave birth on board, and they had to sort of redirect the flight. So he landed in Alaska. Now in order, it's like it's on the way. It's on the way.
Yeah, you just have to change the seat right here, to get on another plane. Yeah. Some airline companies have such contracts.
Well, it's the thing, but it's just how coincidental is it that these flights? I mean, one from Cape Town to Australia, Dubai. It's the stopovers in Dubai. Again, straight line.
Sure.
Yeah.
From let's say Cape Town or Johannesburg to Melbourne or Sydney, or from Chile to Australia.
Well, actually, we had somebody who wasn't a flat earther. He was he didn't believe in the flat Earth. He basically took a flight from Australia to Chile. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was supposed to take 14 hours. Okay. So that would sort of ruin this idea. But we found out that there's a jet stream, or there's two jet streams actually, going around the south. Okay.
Yes.
So the air's moving about 400 miles an hour. Yeah.
Here.
So, yes. So it's like a jet stream of air going round. Okay. So literally, if a plane takes off, catches a jet stream, yeah, and goes 600 miles an hour in air that's already moving at 400 miles an hour, now the ground speed's 1,000 miles an hour, and they can easily make that trip. Now, the guy who did it, he took a compass with him, and he noticed that at least twice during the flight, that compass heading was totally different from what the plane said he was going. And so we think they went off course, caught the jet stream, yeah, and then as it got close, went off course again to land. Now,
if the flat is Earth, why would government hide it? Why wouldn't they publish it ever since the man was on the moon?
No, well, this is the thing. This idea came about around about 500 years ago, yeah, and it's literally a bloodline of people who are controlling the world right now.
Yes,
yeah,
Rothschilds.
No, all those people. Yeah. Now, for a small number of people to control 7 billion people, right? You have to psychologically, reduce them to nothing. So you combine the ball Earth with the Big Bang Theory and the theory of evolution. That makes you an accidental blob of goo that evolved here by accident.
Yes.
Yeah. In a huge universe that didn't have a creator, so it means you've got no purpose, and so they give you a purpose, and they've given us all a purpose. That is go to school, get good grades, get a job, buy a house, buy a car, buy a bigger house, buy a faster car, and so on until you die. That's the purpose they've given us. They really want to keep you away from, first of all, the Most High, yeah, the Creator, and that you have a purpose.
Just buy and spend and just die in like destitute.
Exactly. And if you think you got here by accident and there's no purpose to your life, then that's as good as purpose as any, really, isn't it?
Okay, but I saw, Status Flat Earth Society now has millions of followers
around the globe.
Around the globe. Who wrote that?
That was again the Flat Earth Society, laughing at real flat
You also
earthers.
believe that the Earth is flat, right?
Yes, not just believe it, we know it.
I saw, James May and his Man's Lab. Mm-hmm. It's a Britain show, and they visited the Flat Earthers and their leader, and they said, but now we'll test how this boat drifts on the surface of the ocean, and after a while that
boat over the horizon,
boat disappears. So because of the natural curve of the Earth,
Okay, that's 500-year-old proof.
And then when you look from the sky, well, the Earth looks like rounded.
Let's start with the boat over the horizon first thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so That's a 500-year-old proof. They've been saying that for 500 years, yeah? But the problem is now we've got technology. Technology has outpaced this idea, okay? You can go out and buy a P900 camera, a Nikon P900, and watch that boat go out to sea and over the horizon, zoom in and it comes back, yeah? Stay at that level of zoom, watch it do the same thing, zoom in some more, it comes back. It never goes away, all right? Now, if you take a filter, there's a little filter in these cameras, okay? There's an infrared filter. It stops the extra infrared light from ruining the image, yeah?
Yes.
So if you take it out, you now have an infrared camera, okay? And somebody's actually done that. His name's Jay Tolan Media on YouTube. And he's taken a picture of Santa Monica, yeah, from about 30 miles away. And all you see is a city, just, you know, off in the distance. Behind it, nothing, blue sky, yeah? But when he takes his infrared camera and takes the same shot, he now sees a mountain that's 123 miles away. Mount San Jacinto, it's called. And it's 123 miles away from, and it's right there, the whole mountain from top to bottom, and it should be behind a mile of curvature.
So all this information you talk about is contained here on these links, right?
In these links, you know, if you take one of these, the links are on the links
took
on
one,
it.
sure.
Okay.
Maybe I can give to someone else. I can leave it
Absolutely.
in some of the shops.
Yeah. So
I'm never against other opinion, although if I disagree, I'm just like French philosopher Voltaire. Mister, I disagree with you, but I will struggle that your opinion will be heard till the doomsday, you know.
right, great. It's the best way to be.
Yeah. So how do you call people from Brighton? You know, Cockneys are in London, Geordies are in.
I can come up with some really nasty thing, but no, they don't have a particular name. No, soft southern bastards probably, but that's what.
And those
Northern
Geordies
think.
from the north, they told me how they dislike people from the south because all the money goes to the south. South is more
Yes.
out, just like in Roman times.
Yeah, that's why they call them soft southern bastards.
British lads when the Sunny pages and the regional pages. But there you can see videos of concerts there, from classical to rock.
Okay. Well,
And, there are some lectures in English like Broken Mind by Donald Miller from the United States.
okay. Well, let me give you a card.
Sure. Oh, that's definitely great.
I think I've got a card here. Sorry, guys, hold on.
So you record the passengers, right? You shoot passengers.
Do you say I shoot passengers?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Passers
I mean,
by.
not literally, but
Yeah, we're kind of live streaming right
Yeah.
now, just
so I was.
because we're going all over Europe.
It got me too, right?
Yeah. Don't mind. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah. Great. Dave.
Yeah. So,
Plus.
okay. So, yeah, feel free to drop me a line.
Sure, no problem. Just ask your associate here
Okay.
what he thinks is the purpose.
All right. So I'll put that away. Oh, sorry about that, guys.
Da je ravna ljudi koji su dopisuje određena, kako kažem,
Can I give you one of these? You're welcome.
Drugi korak je trudimo se da dobijemo tako važne institucije. Potvrde ono što oni su
Can I give one of these? Some more leaflets. We seem to be getting through a lot of leaflets though. I've seen Lisa come back a few times to get more leaflets. So. Done. 2 for 1.
Well, I'm reading all of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, your eyesight's good then. Bloody hell.
So what's it about?
The nature of the Earth. And
Okay.
it turns out it's not what you think.
It's not round.
It's not a ball. No.
It's not a ball. So what's it? What is it?
It's pretty much like that. It's a flat, motionless plane. Just as your senses tell you it is.
And how is that?
You know, I mean, you go to the beach, yeah?
Yeah.
You look at the sea, it's flat.
Well, okay, but if we get on a higher point, we can see.
Further.
See it. Yeah.
Well, that works on a flat plane as well because it's called angular resolution. Yeah, if you're this height and you look a certain distance, yeah. Obviously the floor comes up, the ceiling comes down, everything shrinks down, and you lose it. As soon as you go up higher, then that angle widens, and now you see more. So it works the same way.
Okay. What about the main argument about gravity?
Gravity. Okay. The thing about gravity, yeah. Both Newton says it was like two masses attracting each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Einstein said no, it's not two masses attracting each other. It's mass warping space-time. Yeah. Both of them rely on mass. Okay. Now think about this. If you had an empty gas bottle, right, and you weighed it and zeroed out the weight of that gas bottle, filled it with a pound of helium, okay? So you can weigh the helium in the gas bottle now, right? Empty that helium into a balloon, hold an iron 1 pound weight in the other hand, and let go of both of them. What's going to happen?
I lost you. I'm sorry, but I lost you.
Okay. So basically all I've said is you put a pound of helium in a balloon,
Okay.
right, in one hand, and you're holding a pound weight in the other hand, and you let go of both. What's going to happen?
Well, the helium is going to fly up.
And the pound weight
It's going to go down.
is going to go down.
Yeah.
Right. So why is that? If so-called gravity, yeah, the whatever's pulling things down or causing this to drop,
Okay, but
it's not based on mass or weight, yeah, because the same weight is in both.
I think it's different.
The only
For
difference
example, it's a gas. It's not really
doesn't matter. It's the same
like,
number
for
of
example,
molecules.
smoke.
Same number of molecules, yeah. When it was in the liquid form in the bottle, yeah, it's same number of molecules, same atomic weight, yeah. So it's exactly the same as if it was in the bottle. It's now in a balloon, but it's less dense, yeah. And that's the key, yeah. It's less dense in the air, it's going to go up. If it's more dense in the air, it's going to go down. End of story.
So basically, the Earth is flat.
Yes.
Well, I can't really stand on that point of view.
Mm-hmm. Well, because you've just heard it today, so.
Because there's like thing. Should we believe like scientists? Should we believe all the examples? Who should we believe? Who should we trust?
Well, if
Like,
somebody's lying to you, do you
Yeah.
think you should trust them anymore?
how do we know they're lying?
Right. Watch any NASA footage, yeah, for long enough, you're going to see mistakes, yeah.
I kind of researched it. Yeah, I kind of know. I know a little bit. Yeah,
Right.
about
So
it.
NASA is the one trying to convince you that yes, the Earth's a ball and they're in space and so on, so on. But when you start looking at their footage and you find, well, the astronaut says there's one. Sorry. There's one.
It's full of
Yeah.
it, yeah.
There was one astronaut who stand by here. People are staying away from this. So, there was one astronaut. He's a Dutch astronaut. He's floating, yeah, and he goes to unscrew a bolt, and he drops it, and it clatters around on the floor. Yeah. So if he's in zero gravity, how does that happen? Yeah, he's floating. Yeah. So he's literally on wires or something, yeah? He's floating, he drops the screw, it falls on the floor. He's not in space, yeah? There's another one where 3 astronauts are bobbing around doing their little PR exercise.
Yeah, there's also.
And water drips from the ceiling, yeah, behind them. It's like, no, you're not in space, yeah. When they do spacewalks, yeah, watch it carefully. You can see air bubbles coming off of their suits, yeah. And there was one where an astronaut's waving to the camera. He pulls down his visor, and you see a scuba diver. It reflected in his visor, yeah.
Okay.
It's like they're laughing at us, right?
Yeah.
So you can't trust them to be telling you, you know, this is the way it is. Yeah. So we've asked our own questions. We've sent up our own balloons and done our own experiments.
So what about the edge? Is there an edge?
Yes. Well, there's more than one probably. So this is the model we're talking about. Yeah. So North Pole's in the centre. All the continents are around it. And this is Antarctica, yeah? So it's literally, when you get to it, it's a 200-foot wall of ice, okay? Because you can go on to YouTube.
Can you get over it?
Well, yes, you can see, if you go on YouTube, you see icebreakers going up to the wall, yeah? And they have a crane on the front, and they literally lift people up and put them on the shelf and put equipment up there and stuff, yeah?
So what would happen if I just go straight till the end?
Well, what you get is, after the 200-foot wall of ice, you get about 300 miles of ice desert, you know, it gets colder and colder, and then you get 2-mile-high mountains. And beyond that, hardly anybody's ever gone. And the other thing about that is that you're not allowed to go past the 60th South, yeah? Because there's something called the Antarctica Treaty that says you're not allowed to go there. You can go to, you know, places like here on package tours where you'll go and see some penguins, you know, and there's a barbershop pole. They'll say, oh, that's the South Pole. Well, it isn't, yeah, and they'll tell you it isn't really, and that's it. But you can't go anywhere in the interior of Antarctica. They won't let you.
The eclipse.
What about the eclipse? Okay.
Well, I don't know, like, I'm open for conversation.
Okay.
So, like, tell me everything.
So they say the lunar eclipse is proof of proof that we're all balls in space and stuff. But we see sometimes the sun and the moon while there's a lunar eclipse happening, both in the sky at the same time. It's called a selenalian, yeah, and it means that the Earth isn't in between, casting a shadow on it, because you can see both of them in the sky at once. So the model that they're telling us isn't true. Yeah, if there's one...
Yeah, okay, I get it. You know, like, the safest thing is to get a rocket, build your own rocket, and just go to space and check out.
Well, you look at rockets, and I don't know if we haven't got any pictures here, but if you look at the rockets, yeah, you'll see that when they take off, they go up, over, go horizontal, and then out of sight. And if you keep following them, they go down again. Yeah, they never go into space. Space shuttle's never been to space. Okay.
Oh well, you can see it also if the Earth is spinning, like, and if it's flying, you can see it going out like that.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, this is this is the Earth.
Yeah.
But it's round.
Okay.
So it's a globe.
Yeah. So it's this you're talking
And,
about.
like, how the Earth is spinning and moving, and the rocket, how it's flying, the Earth is moving.
Yeah, that's
So
what
it's like-
that's what I was told. I'm under it. No, it turns out no, that's not the case either. Yeah, but literally, if you follow it, there was a video taken of the space shuttle from an aircraft flying at 35,000 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a fact that wherever you go, no matter how high you go, the horizon comes up to your eye level. Okay. So when you watch the space shuttle take off, when the space shuttle crossed the horizon, that means that it was exactly 35,000 feet up, because it was matching your horizon. Yeah? So at that point, it was 7 miles up. So using that as a measuring stick, you can tell exactly how high it goes before it goes horizontal, and it's literally below 70 miles. That's not space.
So what is under it? What's on the other?
That's the same question as what's on the other side of the universe. Same question, except this model's smaller.
Okay, yeah, I get it that it's smaller, but we have this. Like basically, we're on the flat Earth.
Yep.
So what's underneath us? Or are we
Water
just,
and earth, and that's it. We don't know.
oh, we're just on water. And
Nobody knows what's below this because right here, I think it's down here. The deepest hole ever dug, 8 miles. That's it. 8 miles. Nobody knows. They don't know if this is true because 8 miles is only into the crust there. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just an imaginary model. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody knows what's under the earth. You know, we don't know. But it's just the same as.
How are they playing here? That the orbit is like, because this is a flat Earth.
Yep.
And this will be the moon and the sun.
Yep.
And they're up spinning in a circle.
Yep.
What about everything else?
This is my speculation here because I've never been up there. I don't know. Yeah. But there's a dome that goes up and they move. Yeah. Planet is only it's what's known as a wandering star. It's just a blob of light. You know, from the observatories. They're owned by the Vatican, by the way. They're the only ones who give you, beautiful pictures of rocky places that you can go and visit. Yeah. But if you look through a telescope, you just see a blob of light. That's it. So there are only 7 blobs of light that don't move in the same way as all the other blobs of light, and they're called the wandering stars, planets. And to say that, why isn't this why isn't this a round ball if everything up there is right? Well, that's ridiculous. It's like, this is a special place. This is where we live. Why is it, do you think it's a blob of light in the sky?
Well, okay, yeah, but it's interesting. So, okay, what did you write about satellites?
Satellites, well, there's so much about satellites. Satellites live in this sort of region of space called the thermosphere. Yeah, low Earth orbit is from 99 miles to 1,200 miles. Yeah, so this is the thermosphere, which is 57 to about 610 miles. Yeah, in that thermosphere, it gets to 2,000 degrees centigrade. Right? Well, titanium melts at 1,600 degrees, and aluminium melts way below that. So does glass. So does all the materials that these satellites are made of. So if they're up there, with no way to radiate or convect or conduct the heat
So
away.
it will be impossible for it to exist.
Yes.
Yeah, because it will be destroyed.
Yes. The other thing is, have you ever seen a satellite at night? Lay back and looked in the sky?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter then, because I've seen what they're called satellites, and you know what? They're impossible to see. You can't see them. I've seen lights moving in the sky. They've told us that they're satellites, but if you look at the Earth here, and imagine the sun is 93 million miles that way. Yeah. So that half of the sun, the Earth is lit up. This half is in shadow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the shadow extends down here and up here. So all here is in shadow, yeah? 99 miles is like that far away, yeah? 1,200 miles is about that far away, yeah?
Wait.
So imagine this is 8,000 miles across, yeah?
Okay.
So 99 miles is about like there, yeah?
I think it's much larger.
No, it's probably a lot smaller than that actually. It's like 99 miles. This is 8,000 miles. Yeah, it's about there. 8 of these distances across.
So,
yeah,
you're telling that. Yeah, okay.
Right. So it's like satellite go past the moon. Yeah, except one of these thousands, how many thousands of satellites go past the moon? Not once. So how does that happen? Yeah.
Well, okay. There's that.
what's supposed to be
But
there.
yeah, I get it because
You see him whizzing past the moon or crater that's closer than.
flaws of our flat Earth. How does
Well,
it work?
you tell me what you're looking to figure out, because
This is believe. This is more about believing. So
Okay.
Am I going to trust this? Or am I going to trust? And the only
All
way
right.
kind of to get to really know it is by going up there. And
no.
figuring it out.
Here's one way you can know it. Yeah, it's simple mathematics to figure out a ball of the circumference of 25,000 miles. Yeah,
But how do we know how large it is?
telling us. They've told us they know how big the Earth is, yeah? So let's go with their numbers, yeah? So that ball is 25,000 miles. So there's a simple calculation you'll see. Okay, so that should hide it. All right? And yeah, I drew this up on AutoCAD so I could check. So it's 8 inches per mile squared. Now you can go out. You said so. See ya. Hopefully you'll come. Okay, here we go. Bands. So that's going to stop any conversation for a little while. So what's going on here? Let me give you one of these. Okay, that was interesting. I am having. Oh wow! You can't hear me anyway. Loud bands. I might have to chase after her later on.
Take is over. Actually, we have a lot of respect for you.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I have one of my best friends is definitely
A flat
flat
earther.
earther. Yeah.
Is there?
Okay.
Is that? Do you guys call yourselves flat earthers, or is that what
Yeah,
people
I
do?
do.
Okay, yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
call themselves globe deniers, but
Globe denier.
yeah,
Flat
that's
earther
just,
sounds better.
yeah,
Yeah.
I-
Flat earther sounds
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
I'd call myself a flat earther if I were you.
Yeah, well, seriously, I mean, this isn't a joke anymore. It's like we've been doing experiments all over the world. We've been, testing things. I've been doing scientists and particle physicists and stuff, and literally they have nothing. I've got a video on my channel, me debating a particle physicist, yeah, and I've got him going, no, I don't know,
Right.
So it's
Interesting.
This is-
Wow. Okay.
of Nottingham University.
Really?
They said they wanted to have a debate with me and a couple of other flat earthers. So,
Wow.
so they said, okay,
At
assemble
least
your
they're taking
team.
it seriously.
Well,
Well, are they?
This is
or
the thing.
Is it like you're kind of like a?
Well, they
like,
said-
let's wheel out the flat earthers and have like a laugh at them or something.
this is the thing. They said, assemble your team. And I said, yeah, I've got my team ready. And so they said, okay, send us some videos that you might have done. So I sent them the particle physicist debate, and all of a sudden they said, no, we can't do it anymore.
Interesting.
So they literally didn't want to debate us.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
literally they've got nothing. The gig is up now. We're starting to actually ask questions that we're never meant to ask any.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because what they've done very cleverly is when you were at an age where you couldn't analyze information, this is when they pumped all this stuff into you. They said, they brought the globe out and said, here's where you live. And you as a kid was like, okay, what else can you say? I mean, okay. And then you never went back to it. Yeah? But if you go back to it with an adult view, yeah, and start asking questions, it doesn't make any sense anymore.
So yeah, I think that it's definitely okay. But so why is there like Because there's some sort of like global conspiracy, or is it just that everyone has been?
Global conspiracy, we're all done.
Is it a global conspiracy? Right.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. A discal conspiracy. Right?
A flat. No.
Yeah.
So yes, if you combine the Big Bang theory, the theory of evolution, and this ball Earth theory, what it does is psychologically reduces you to nothing. It reduces you to an accident that happened on a speck of dust in this infinite universe.
But why does a globe do that?
Well, it does because literally, well, I said, combine it with the Big Bang theory, It means everything happened by accident. There was no creator, Your life has no purpose, no meaning,
What if?
And they give you, what they did was give you a meaning, Whether you like it or not, we've all been given this purpose in life, and it means to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, buy a house, buy a car, buy a bigger house, buy a bigger car, until you die.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's the purpose they've given us.
Which is interesting, because that's something that, like, as in, it's one of those things where you hear everywhere that it's like just not a good and fulfilling thing. It's like the point of every piece of literature and movie and things is like more money, more problem. Like you know what I mean? It's like we always say the things of like money doesn't bring us happiness, but people still behave as if it does. So
well, exactly.
But I don't see how that connects.
You chase no, but this is how it connects, because it's the only way a small number of people can control 7 billion people. If you reduce them to nothing, you who've got more power and money and social status and everything can now say, look, I'm more powerful than you, you do as I say. And then that's what we've done. We've all bought into this.
They have the knowledge about the rest of the universe.
They have the knowledge about this. They know this place, what this place is about.
Well, I mean that's I can see that. What I would say, my answer to people who are doing that, which I think you're right. I think people do manipulate the knowledge, scientific knowledge in that way. But my answer would be maybe the Big Bang doesn't actually mean that you have no purpose. Maybe that was, and that ended with you, or that not ended with you, but reached eventually a point. So the way that I do it is that God could have been the one who did that.
The Big Bang removes a creator. Removes the creator
right,
from the whole
but you
thing.
have to have something to start a universe.
Oh, that's what I'd say.
Right.
But scientific community says nothing started it. Nothing exploded.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and created everything.
There's some scientists now who have actually said that in order for, I think this is hilarious, but in order for there to have been Big Bang, there had to have been a universe generator, something that generated the Big Bang.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I see it is that would be God. If you take all the
right, but science won't say that.
Right. Science won't say
science
that.
Won't say
but
that.
This is what they do. These are the characteristics of something that would have to do that. They list 5 or 6 characteristics. I take those characteristics, and those characteristics to me are all characteristics that I would say to have these characteristics, you need to be God.
Yes,
right.
I agree.
So,
and I totally believe or know that there's a creator. He created this, and that means that you are one of the chief of creations, creations of creation,
Right.
Which means you have a purpose.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I believed that I had a purpose before, but that's because of my belief in God. So, like, to me, believing in a flat Earth or believing in a globe that's in the universe, to me, either way, that I have a purpose.
But you're still you're still in a system that's been built for you to play in, so you don't get in the way of the important people.
Right. Now, do you think there's other ways to resist the system than to challenge the globe?
I think this is the best start, because once you realise that you've been lied to about the way you live, then you start to realise that you've been lied to about pretty much everything in your life.
Okay.
Yeah. Healthcare, education, money, legal system, everything that affects your life.
Right.
It's been a lie.
So, have you ever read Henry David Thoreau, Walden?
No, I haven't.
It's okay. I haven't read the whole thing either. But he has like a thesis in the beginning of the book that he talks about the idea that we've been told that we have to live a certain type of life to have a certain amount of work in our lives, and that we've actually become a slave to the things that we thought we were making slave to us.
Exactly.
earning and food and all these different things. When really there's very simple human basic needs of life, and so he was, you know, a big person.
And you can find those needs anywhere, outside the system.
You need food and shelter.
Yeah.
Clothing is an extension of shelter.
Actually, you don't
Fuel
even,
is an extension of
actually, you
food.
don't really even need food. But that's another topic altogether.
Interesting. I'd love to hear about that, actually.
I'll give you an example. My son, he was an Xbox addict. Yeah.
Okay.
He played this thing every minute of every day. Yeah. One day it broke, and I refused to get him another one. And after 2 weeks of withdrawal symptoms, he suddenly relaxed and realised he was into music. And within a month, he taught himself to play keyboards. He got his first album out on iTunes. He became a registered manager. He liberated some of his friends and turned them into a pop group. And he was in the studio doing it. And all. He discovered himself, right?
We've been shackled by our inventions.
The world is our Xbox.
Right.
And they want to do everything they can to keep us playing. Because as long as they keep us playing, you never know who you are. You never find out who you really are. Yeah?
Okay.
I see what you...
I definitely sympathize as well. And I also think that it's like we were saying earlier, that it's like an extreme level of skepticism, right? It's like, and there's definitely a place for skepticism in like education and things, and it's like
it's more than that. I mean, literally, it's a lie. You know, education is a lie.
Sure, but I guess my position would be that maybe to me it doesn't really matter so much whether it's a globe or a disc. I think what matters is how we like behave and like the education of children to have like moral values.
But you're behaving in a context of being placed in this position of nothingness. Yeah, you're trying to argue from this deep bottomless pit, trying to say, you know.
But I think that the thing to be engaged in might be to educate children to be more honest and unified in things, and then whenever these children become like, as in when the future generations grow up and are unified and more honest and then their scientific assessment of what the globe is will be something that we can actually trust, right?
When you left school, did you realise that you learned more after school than you did at school? Is that something you felt?
I realised that during school,
Right, okay. You do not need education, yeah? You will, okay.
To some extent you do.
No,
you don't necessarily need education in a specific formal environment.
No,
Everyone
you know
needs
what?
education.
You don't need
Your
Key Stage
parents,
3s.
your parents will teach you how to count, how to...
That's education.
Yeah, I know, but it's not this formalized education that you need.
So we might not need formalized.
You don't need to be taught anything. You will learn what to do. Yeah, you don't get taught how to speak English, right? You learn it. You listen. You look. You learn. Right?
Well, you're not formally taught. Yes.
So nobody has to sit down, you know, and say, you know, apple, apple. Yeah, you pick it up, right? You learn stuff naturally, right? This idea that you can only learn stuff if you go to the school setting and read books and do what teacher said. No, I learned more after I left school than I ever did in school. Yeah, and literally I spent 15 years not learning anything, and then left school and like I just like soaked everything up.
But surely you would agree that there's still a place for books and teachers and things.
There's a place for books and maybe not teachers as such.
Are you not being a teacher right now? Is this not what you're trying to?
Yeah, but I'm not.
About something?
I know, but all I'm trying to say is think for yourself. Ask questions.
Yeah.
That's not. Right. I'm not telling you what to learn. I'm not telling you what you need to know.
Maybe it's a cultural view of education that's the issue, and not necessarily education itself.
If you find out what education is, okay, you'll find out that nobody should be in education, because it's not about raising you to a higher standard. It's about lowering you to a common denominator.
I think it can be used for that.
No, it is. It's literally.
Right.
It's as a child, you have infinite potential.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You can be a brain surgeon. You could be
the light
whatever.
Of the world,
you
or
can be
darkness.
whatever.
You could go one way or the other.
Right. You can be whatever you decide you want to be. Yeah. Right. But school narrows that down into right, a set of boxes and says, okay, this is your whole range of things you're qualified for. Choose one and that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Yeah? Infinite potential down to
Well,
that.
yeah. I think that education has been manipulated into that. But if you look,
It's designed for that.
Right, but if
it's
you-
designed to produce enough street sweepers, enough butchers, enough whatever, and only a few rulers. That's what it's designed to do.
Yeah. Have you looked at the apprenticeship model? Which is an
That's
older
what
form?
it used to be. Yeah.
Right, it used to be an
Nobody was meant to have jobs. Yeah. What you do is you go and apprentice with somebody, and then you'd start your own business.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Always. Yeah.
You were never meant to be an employee. It got corrupted
So
and
I've
turned
seen
into.
some good versions of education personally. Like education, I would say, is my field. I've been studying to be a teacher in some sense, and I'd say that there are models that have tried to actually see more that happens from that is what we would call student directed. And I think that those actually do bring about people who are free thinking in their
You're still
education.
looking at it from inside the box, yeah. Trying to go, okay, oh yeah, we can do it this, but you're still inside the box. Yeah, you should find a guy called John Taylor Gatto. Yeah, he was like teacher of the
How do you
year
spell
in
the last name?
G-A-T-T-O.
Okay,
Yeah, John Taylor Gatto. Yeah, he was a teacher of the year in New York for several years in a row, and but he came out and started telling about what education really is all about. Okay, and if you find him, listen to him, he will open your eyes.
When is he from about time wise?
Oh, I think he's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I work in New York, so that's
Okay.
We have a system that I think anyone who goes to that system would have a completely negative view of education. Personally, we have Engaged New York, and people on the internet are going to get angry at me for saying this, but a lot of people agree with me. Engaged New York, which is a outcrop of Common Core. Have you ever heard of
oh yeah, oh good grief, yeah.
it's which I agree are horrible because it actually starts to turn the teachers into pieces of the machine.
No idea what you're talking about.
Really? Okay. It's like you teach this for 4 minutes and then you switch to this for 4 minutes. And then it's like it tells you exactly what you have to teach, and then if you break from that, and then there's about 8 weeks of testing every year. And they canceled social studies in a school that I was working in because they didn't have enough time for social studies that year because of the testing.
They're having less and less time for right-brained activities as well.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
it is.
agree.
Because they're concentrating you on the left brain, so that you're locked in the left brain, basically,
Right.
in an analytical, sequential thinking,
Right.
rather than creative thinking.
Definitely. Yeah.
So yeah.
Would you like to shed some light on progressive education?
But also, so for example, there's schools that use like the Montessori method and things that are a much better, I think, are much better equipping kids for life and things.
Still looking at it from within the box.
So what do you want in terms of the education of children then? Please?
What do I want? You know what?
As in, what are you? I'm trying to understand.
I guess I would be called an anarchist because no rulers, yeah. Because okay, imagine us four and 996 other people around us got stranded on a desert island, yeah. Okay, we would all have to figure out how to survive, right? And the best way to survive is all together, working together. Yeah. What would happen naturally is that you would play to your strengths. Yeah. You'd find like you're good at fishing. Yeah. You'd find that you're good at building huts. Yeah. I might be good at building roads. I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
If there's unity in the group, then yeah. Right.
No, there's no unity. Doesn't come into it. Yeah. Because
But what if there's 7 people who want to build houses and there's not enough resources for all 7 of them to build houses? Like, how would you? Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah, but then what would happen is those people who are good at building houses would find other ways of building houses with different resources because that's what they're good at.
What if 100 of them decide they want to take the other?
You can do what ifs all day, but what would happen is that in order to survive, everyone will play to their strengths, okay, and give freely. It's only when the parasites, a certain bloodline come into it, they bring in ideas like money, and so that they don't have to do anything because they control the money and stuff.
Do you think that those would naturally form in a group of
No.
100 stranded on an island?
There's no natural about these.
1,000 people.
There's no natural about psychopaths, right? When psychopaths are not the dominant class, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, they're forced to hide. They're forced to pretend to be like everyone else, and they don't do any damage because they're like having to fit in. When they're the dominant class, well, you know what that's
if
like.
If they're forced
yeah.
to hide, you're assuming that there's still a dominant class.
Sorry?
If they're forced to hide, then you're
The
assuming
dominant
that there
class
is a
becomes
dominant class.
everyone.
So there is no dominant class.
There is no dominant class, right?
Dominant implies a submissive.
Dominant implies that the psychopaths have put themselves above everyone else.
Okay.
Right?
I see what you're getting at.
Humans are naturally collaborative. Yeah, they're not competition based. Competition doesn't work, in a survival situation. Yeah, naturally humans are collaborative. Yeah, so this dominant class has turned it, this society into a competition based society where it's dog eat dog. Everyone out for themselves.
But for better or for worse, we live in a society that has dominance. So how do we
Right.
work? So you're saying that we have to work outside the box?
I'm not really
No,
here to
I
talk about the social studies or something.
But you're saying that this would be a great help in getting
This, I said, will get you or get anybody if they realise that, hey, we've been lied to about where we live. What else can they be lying about? If they can lie about this, they could be lying about anything. And then you start to see, well, you know what? Money. That doesn't work the way I think it does. The health system. They're not actually curing us. They're making us sick. They're keeping us sick. And so on and so on and so on. And you'll end up stepping away from the society and forging your own path. Yeah. And that's what I think will happen eventually.
Can you tell me about this one on the top left?
What do you mean?
I'm just curious. Which Earth is fake one?
Right. Well,
I'm just curious.
first of all, this picture of Earth here, yeah, this is the one that was released on the iPhone. Okay, this is called the Big Blue Marble. Right? Do you think this is where you live?
Well, not right now. I live in
America.
Sarajevo.
Yeah.
All right,
So
but-
it's on the other side.
Yeah. But do you think you live on that? Do you think this is a photograph of Earth?
Could be.
I think I know that it's not because a photograph of Earth usually would be, right, we're not including the full radius if you're doing a photograph of the globe, right? Because the Pacific
Well,
looks
let
long.
me show you something. Yeah.
I'm
If
not
you
sure.
look at this cloud here, yeah. See from the top here all the way down to here, yeah. And then look at this cloud. Identical. You see that? Those two. See that there? And that one there.
Almost identical.
No, they're identical. They're just like moved around, squashed a bit.
I believe that you have probably looked at this picture longer than me,
Yes.
and you can tell me that those are identical, and I believe that
And-
those two
and
images
you
are
look,
identical.
you'll find lots of identical parts of clouds.
Doubles.
It's what it is. Yes, what it is a Photoshop clone tool. Yeah, you sample a piece of it and you can stamp it around. Right? This is Photoshop. Yeah. This is a guy from NASA. His name's Rob Simon. He's the one who created this. And you can go onto YouTube and he will say, I made this from data. Yeah. I took a flat map, wrapped it around a ball, I simulated the atmosphere, I made this little bright spot here, I coloured the sea according to the amount of plankton that was in there. And I made the clouds look 3D. Yeah.
Okay.
He said, I'm not an astronaut. I don't know what it looks like. This is what I think it looks like. And I made this, and this is a quote from him, so it matches people's expectation of what Earth looks like.
Okay, so he's an artist.
He's an artist. This is why if you look for pictures of Earth from space, they all look different because they've got different artists. Different Rob Simmons out there making these fake pictures of Earth. You do not find a picture of Earth anywhere. And you think after 70 years of going to
What
the
about
moon,
the Apollo 11 shot?
okay, that's interesting. Because
Well, I know there's a lot around the Apollo 11 thing, but okay.
there's a documentary called "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon," And when the researchers were trying to get images and video, they asked NASA for some of their reels. And on one of the reels, it showed Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins faking a picture of Earth from a distance. They literally turned the lights out in the cabin, used a round porthole as to pretend to be the Earth. When the Earth was like, huge in the window, they just used the whole porthole and put a piece of card.
It's called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon?
Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon.
Is it on Netflix?
You just have to go on YouTube, Okay. So they faked that picture. They were at the back of the spacecraft, with a camera, all the lights turned out, and they're saying, oh yeah, that's the Earth off in the distance. We're 100,000 miles out. Yeah.
Can I ask a technical question?
Sure.
So in the flat Earth theory, how does orbital mechanics differ from orbital mechanics on a spherical Earth?
There's no difference.
Okay.
Literally, the geocentric model and the heliocentric model are identical.
So my question is, so for example, say this is the Earth, and the rocket goes up at an arc. You have an apoapsis, you burn, and then you widen your orbit, so it eventually forms a stable orbit.
That's what they say.
Around the sphere.
Yeah. That's what they say.
Yeah, because the model of gravity is.
Well, again, this is what they say. That whole idea was a thought experiment by Einstein.
Yeah.
He said if you had a cannon on top of a mountain, and you fired that cannon, fired a cannon normally, it would go like that. The cannonball would go like that. But if you fired it fast enough, it would start to curve like that. But then the Earth would curve away from under it, and then forever, right? Which is bullshit, really. Yeah. So. When you see a rocket, and all of the rockets and the space shuttle, when you see them go up, as you say, they go up, they roll over, and they go horizontal, and literally if you carry on watching, they go down again,
I've seen that video.
Right. Now, the smoking gun in that case is that there was a video taken of the space shuttle launch from a passenger jet, okay? Now, if you bear in mind, no matter how high up you get, the horizon always rises up to eye level. So when that space shuttle hit the horizon from the perspective of that plane, you knew that space shuttle was 7 miles up, 35,000 feet up. Okay, so you've got now a measuring stick. So if you extrapolate out, you find out that the space shuttle doesn't go above 70 miles. That's not space. So it goes up 70 miles, and you see it levels off and never gets any higher. Just goes out to sea. Dishes in the sea. The proof of that is the Challenger disaster. Do you remember that? 1986?
Yeah.
Well, would you believe?
I don't remember it, but I've seen it.
Okay, But would you believe 6 of the 7 astronauts are still alive today?
Yeah, I've heard this.
On my video, I've got the pictures, and when I was doing the research, I found Facebook pages for 3 of them. They've got the same names, they look identical apart from, 30 years older, and 2 of them say that they're identical twin brother when you can't find any records of an identical twin brother, it's them. They're in the astronaut protection program, They just
it's not a very efficient program if they didn't change their names.
Well, I mean, I don't know why, but they don't expect people to even bother looking. That's the point.
I can see that.
One of them, Judith Resnick.
Just in terms of American society, I could see people not bothering.
They're not
on a
even
global
look.
scale, necessarily.
And there's Judith
Kind of
Resnick
global.
is a very distinctive woman. When she was in her name was Judith Resnick. She was a mission specialist. She's very distinctive. When she talks, she lip curls up and she makes these gestures and everything. Right. I've got video of her now as a school teacher in Yale, doing exactly the same thing, same curl of a lip, looks exactly the same. It's the same woman. It sounds exactly the same. It's the same person. Nobody ever goes up in a space shuttle. Nobody's ever been to space.
Are there smoking guns, as you say, with documents that have been forged?
Yes, there's a lot. Well, not forged, but NASA's own documents. If you can find lots of NASA's documents that say, we've assumed a flat, non-rotating Earth. There's so many of them, honestly.
And supposedly, this is just because of my I've heard from other flat earthers, a friend of mine especially, that there's this idea that NASA was doing tests that had something to do with a hard firmament.
Yeah.
Right. So, has NASA even commented on those things at
No.
all?
After a
I
guy
actually watched the video from Rob
of
Skiba.
Skiba, yeah. So yeah, after they went to the Antarctica, Russia and America started firing nuclear missiles straight up, and literally, if you find the footage on YouTube,
I saw the footage. Yeah.
it wasn't a fireball in midair; it was like a ring that expanded
it's like
out.
a water. Have you seen these?
So
Water. It's like a. I don't know where they, you know.
it's called Operation Fishbowl. Yeah, Fishbowl. Yeah, Project Dominic. The word Dominic means of the Lord. Fishbowl of the Lord. They called it. That's what they called it. So when you find it, if you find it on YouTube, you'll find that this explosion goes off. Instead of a fireball in midair, you just get a ring, as though it's exploding against something. Yeah. So
no one's confirmed or denied the like where those videos came from. See what I'm asking?
no, well,
asking,
it's
like-
it's U.S. Army. You know.
So
it's US
fishbowl,
Army.
the Lord, the idea that we're under a.
Yeah.
And now NASA is, or science is saying there's an impenetrable barrier somewhere up there, radiation type barrier, and
that they had to shoot a hole in it to get the
Well,
Apollo 11 up there.
they never said it. They didn't say anything about that. There's also the Van Allen belt, which is dangerous radiation about 1,000 miles out. Yeah,
From the Earth.
from the Earth. Or was it 10,000 miles? I can't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's high radiation, and right now NASA is saying we can't figure out how to get people through it. Forgetting that they sent 6 people or 6 crews through it, back in 1969. Yeah, but now they're saying we've got to figure this out before we send people through it. Yes. So yeah, I'm saying just look into this. I know your friend might sound crazy to you.
No,
but
he doesn't sound crazy to me at all. He's always been a very sane person. I'm not doubting anyone's sanity. For myself, I don't
Look
think it
into it.
deserves the amount of counter skepticism that it
No.
receives
Or
necessarily.
the censorship that YouTube is doing right now on it.
Oh, really? Right now? I didn't know about that.
You type in flat Earth on YouTube.
Oh, actually, yeah, I did hear about that really recently, though, right?
Yeah, you'll find that you'll get 10 pages of why the Earth is a ball, and then you'll find some flat Earth videos. So why are they doing that? if
I know
it's
that
for
the
ridiculous?
way to do it now is to just search like one of the major names, like Rob Skiba or the Mark
Sargent.
Mark Sargent.
But even if you type in the actual name of the video, right, you're
It'll
not
still
going to get it in the first page.
I've heard about that with a lot of things on YouTube, not just
Yeah.
Flat Earth.
Well,
a lot of movements have
they've
been
said they're trying
pushed
to
down.
make sure that people aren't finding out, counter information to the system. So
Okay.
this is where we
Yeah.
are.
Interesting.
Well, how long are you in Bosnia for?
Just today.
Just today, are you traveling through Europe?
Yeah, we're doing a European tour.
Okay. Where were you last?
We just left Montenegro.
Oh, cool. How'd you like it?
I love it actually. It's a
great.
really cool place.
It's cool. These are the areas that a lot of people don't get to, and
Yeah.
it's a shame.
Have you been like around the city and things?
Not really. We don't have time to
Yeah.
see
You're
everything.
leaving tomorrow morning, or
We're leaving probably in a few hours.
okay.
Heading where?
Heading to Zagreb
Okay, Zagreb's great. Yeah.
Is it?
and then Slovenia.
it's
and then,
it's a lot more of a Western city.
Yeah, if you squint your eyes, you could be in like Vienna or something.
I know we've been
Actually,
to Vienna as well.
No, actually, I haven't been to Zagreb post EU, and I've heard that it's changed. So it was really good before the EU got there. That's
All right. Well, I think most places were. So
Can we catch the stream anywhere?
yes, the name of the channel that the streams are on is called Jason of the.
Also, I assume I was going to ask your name as well. Is this going to be?
Well, I'm known as allegedly Dave.
Sorry.
Allegedly Dave.
Allegedly, Dave. Is that your full name?
That's what I'm
Allegedly.
known as. Yeah.
Okay, so that's your.
So your mother was like allegedly surname Dave.
Now, if you know about the
Mrs.
free
Dave
man
was like-
movement, have you heard of the free man movement?
No.
Okay, so people used to call themselves like commonly known as, and somebody of the whatever. So
this is
the
Jason
channel
of-
is Jason of the Disbury family.
Of the DISBURY?
Yep. and you'll find the streams on there.
All
Right, hold on, chaps. I'm just gonna look for a card. And
Is that different words? Like, or
oh, it's yeah, all different words.
I
Yeah.
hope you edit this so that people don't get nauseous.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about this, guys. We got seasickness. Yeah, it's my
From
fault.
the States?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
Oh no, sorry, not them, just me.
Oh yeah.
I'm from New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Why do you
So
ask?
I was just curious, you know, because I heard I come from the northwestern Bosnia, and we had some player from New York.
Oh,
Are you
really?
from Brooklyn or?
I'm from north in the country, like not the country, suburbs.
And,
Predgrađu.
and your chap, your
Friends?
crony, or yeah.
Cronies. Cronies.
Scottish. It's
Yeah, well,
Just
Scottish.
friends,
It's
yeah.
Scottish.
We met him
I mean, I
yesterday.
work out.
They're from Ireland. Am I allowed to say?
Scottish.
years ago.
What are you Scottish?
We're
Northern Ireland,
from Northern
right?
Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Why did I heard Scottish?
Our
Yeah.
accents are very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got information about where you live as well.
They do Scottish accents to further differentiate from my American accent. Thank
There's
you
my
so
card.
much. I appreciate that.
Protestants or Catholics?
We're Baha'is.
Yeah, because
I'm
we had
not,
a
but I'm just Christian.
high representative here, and he was Irish from Belfast.
Yeah.
When he was born in India, and when he came here, they said, "Are you a Catholic or Protestant?" He said, "No, I'm Muslim." They said, "Muslim Catholic or Muslim Protestant?"
Yeah.
They
We
do
got
that.
that as
It's
well.
just that division: Glasgow Celtic,
Yes,
and Glasgow
I understand.
Rangers. So
Yeah. We had that.
Cameron, you're Baha'i as well? Yes. Okay, I didn't know that.
What is Baha'i?
It's
another
a
conversation.
religion. We believe that God exists,
Mm-hmm.
and that throughout mankind's history, God has sent us manifestations of Himself that give us the same spiritual teachings every time, like love everyone and pray and meditate, and social teachings that are very appropriate for the time and the place. But then, as humanity changes socially, the social teachings change, and God sends a new revelation.
Okay.
So we would believe that Christ and Muhammad and Krishna and the Buddha are all parts of one religion, and Baha'u'llah is
like universal church.
yeah.
Okay.
Sort of, except we believe that Baha'u'llah and the Bab, whose birthday was actually tomorrow 200 years ago, was the return of Christ, and his teachings are what we follow.
Sorry. Involuntary movement there.
So are you going to another parts of this country, or
I live here.
Oh yeah, you live here. Oh, I just wonder what keeps foreigners here, you know, because everybody's trying to flee this country. It's such a terrible
I love
state
I love
economically and
I'm here because I love the culture here. I actually chose to come back. I was here briefly a long time ago, and I chose to come here for short term. It's part of a master's thesis
Are you a
I'm
member
doing.
of maybe Evangelist Church or something?
I am part of the evangelical church. Yeah.
Evangelical
Okay.
Church here.
Yeah. Not here. I'm part of one back home. I'm actually a Messianic Jew. I don't know if we know what that is. Maybe.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Are you Ashkenazi?
I am Ashkenazi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because part of my research tells me a lot about. Well, my research tells me about where you live and who you are.
Interesting. Oh, the connection between the Celts and the Jews?
Messianic Jew is
Yes and no.
Messiah, right?
Theologically, think Christian, tradition-wise, Jewish. So we don't reject Christian traditions, but we believe that we should still be keeping up certain Jewish traditions. But theologically, same as
Well,
Christianity.
first I thought
in my
you
opinion.
were a Celt because of the
hair,
red beard
I've
and
gotten
red
that a
hair.
lot. Yes.
Yeah. Well. Okay. I've done a lot of research into human history in the Bible.
Yeah.
And it's told me about populations of people. So
Yeah.
the Irish. Okay. There are no real Irish in Ireland anymore. The people in Ireland are basically Germans, to be honest.
You mean the Saxon invasion?
Well, kind of, because
Maybe
it was
Northern Ireland.
Saxons, but there were Saxons and Anglo-Saxons. There were two different peoples. Yeah, there's a bloodline of people who what they do is they invade, take over, and then call themselves those people, and they erase knowledge of who the previous people were. So you always think, oh, okay, so that's what's happened in Ireland. Do you want to know where the Irish are right now? Mostly?
Two right here.
No, the real Irish are in the Caribbean. Okay, because the Irish were black people originally, and so were the Scottish.
Oh, interesting.
And literally, what happened was that when
Really? I've never heard that.
when King Charles was dethroned, Oliver Cromwell and the German bloodline came in. Okay, Oliver Cromwell attacked Ireland and Scotland and deported all the Irish who he didn't kill over to the Caribbean. And he gave his soldiers
Wait, which king is
lands
this?
in Ireland.
Which king?
This is Charles II who got deposed.
It's a little. It seems
Yeah,
a little
well,
late for
His
the,
name.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. So you know the way like black skin is like an adaptation for.
It's not an adaptation.
As in.
It is. Right, it's not an adaptation.
As
Humans
in-
don't adapt like
sure.
that.
Okay. Our white skin is an adaptation to not getting enough sunlight.
No, it's not. Doesn't work like that.
You're saying that we were taught that as well. That's not true.
That's not true because there are people who lived in really cold environments for thousands of years and are still dark skinned.
Because we have a dark-skinned friend, Sylvester, who he lives in Ireland and has a vitamin D deficiency and gets kind of depressed in the winter. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of our black friends.
That's
don't
yeah.
How do you spell your religion?
Vitamin D. So.
B-A-H-A-apostrophe-I.
Sorry, I've never come across anybody
Aye.
who's had a vitamin D deficiency. A black guy anyway, who's ever had
Really?
one. No, never.
The tree is throwing things at
Doesn't
you.
happen. Doesn't happen.
Okay. That's something you could actually try for yourself, though.
Yeah,
You could try and like go away from the sun.
I live in
for, like-
England.
That's true,
There's no
yeah,
sun there.
You get a wee bit.
No,
More than Ireland.
seriously. No.
Where in
It's-
England are you from, actually?
I live down near Brighton nowadays.
Ah, yeah, he actually lives in Brighton.
Okay.
Yeah. The sunniest part.
And I know what you're going to say. That the Ashkenazi Jews were actually the replacement of real Jews with Germans. Is that? What you're
Kind of, yeah,
I've
because
heard that before.
because well, I mean,
the Khazars is a whole. That's a whole other thing, though.
but it's the same. It's the same, basically
know
same
enough about
bloodlines,
it.
same bloodlines, same bloodlines. Because well, Ashkenaz was Japheth.
Right. Well, Ashkenazi doesn't mean that they're from that.
They
line.
lived in that.
It means they lived in the area that they lived
yes.
in. Well, because you also have that happening in Israel when the land is taken. You have the land of Gilead referring to the Gadites, which were one tribe. So they lived in the name Gilead comes from before the Israelites were there. So it's like there's a names that come with certain people, and then the place names go with. It's like either or, like Zion and Jerusalem, they actually mean the same thing, but one is a place name, one is a people name.
Right. No, there's also it was also a place name, but because the city that's called Jerusalem now is the Amorite city, not the Jebusite city.
It's
the Jebusite city is in Tel Arad, down
how
south.
far is that from?
That's south. I don't know how far actually,
Okay,
but
I
south.
never heard that before.
But the people.
Whenever you have that happen, that's common to have for example, Tel. Oh, I forgot the name of it.
Biggest reason why
A lot of when it says Tel, it means it's a site that's an older city near a newer city. But I never heard that about Jerusalem. But it would make sense if it was something very close to Jerusalem. Yeah.
Well, it's that's Tel Arad is the name of the place around, but it's
Interesting.
But the point is though, I'm going to say your people aren't the people of the book.
Interesting. Well, to me, it doesn't matter what we are hereditarily. If we can, the way I see it, you can be Jewish. Anyone can be Jewish if they choose to follow the God of the Jews.
But
see what I mean?
you can't be an Israelite.
Right. That's
a blood.
different.
That's
right.
a blood relative. That's
I
why. That's
see
why
that
you guys
point.
are
I see that
Israelis, not Israelites, and Jews, not Judeans, and Semites, not Shemites.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a play on words for these things. So
I could see that, or translation over time.
So I gave you a card.
Yeah, thank you.
Amongst my videos, there's one called "Why Great Britain is no longer great or British." Yeah.
Interesting.
And you might find some interesting information in that. So,
well, thank you for your time. I really
you're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome.
And we enjoyed getting to discuss some things with you. Yeah. I like
all this country now.
If nothing else, your passion for what you're interested in is definitely cool.
The truth is something you get passionate about.
And I definitely agree with you. I'm glad to hear about your son putting away the Xbox, and I definitely agree. Like that's we need to be focusing on living
for the world.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree with that too. Yeah, very cool.
Right. Well,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I think I don't know where the other two are. Where are they? I think because it's about time to close. Actually. Oh, Richard Lopez just turned up. You're late, mate. Yeah. So I don't know where the others have gone. I think it's getting dark and getting cold, and I'm here in my shorts. I don't know. I don't know what's. I don't know where they've gone. They've snuck off somewhere together and left us on our own here. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
I know.
so,
You were there?
I've never been there. But,
okay, so I guess I'm going to start packing up myself then. So, so this was Sarajevo, and I'm just going to say goodbye. So say goodbye, Mike.
Say goodbye. That's simple.
The best you can do.
It's a
All right.
joke, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think we're in Zagreb tomorrow. See you tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, special greetings for all people on chat, and see you tomorrow.
Any message in your language for anyone watching?
Budite pozitivni osim na HIV.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm not going to even try and guess what that actually meant, but there you go. Yeah, so we're in Zagreb tomorrow, and yeah, catch us tomorrow. Bye.
So much.
Who's that?
Are you a coffee drinker?